What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into the 49ers-Eagles game. If you've seen my other videos, I've done videos going over the symbolism, the narrative, even reasons tying into wrestling as to why I believe this game has been predetermined. And I'm going to go into something extremely interesting right here in 1 second. But I always like to do a quick recap, and it'll be quick. I always put them in my Discord because everyone in here can see them, and also the time. So just to be, I'm always just to be as transparent as possible. So when I put them in my Discord, everyone gets to see the time that they were put out ahead of time, and the recaps were put out after the game. And the reason I also put them out in my Discord is anybody can just write something and then edit it. When it's in a Discord, if any of these were edited, it would say edited. So I put them all in live time. So everything in my notes literally just goes straight to the Discord. So anyway, that's the reason I use Discord to show my. It's really just like, I know a lot of people have questions about the Discord, but it's literally just to show you guys the pics and I post them here. It's not like I have some kind of like secret warehouse going on back here, but if people wanted to be in the Discord, no problem. But anyway, I think we had a good day because we've missed Middle Tennessee covering Florida Atlantic as a leg 2, which again, you want to close those leg 2s. But the Merrimack was our only leg 3. We had them going over because, as I said, 10% on the spread. I don't think so on that over. And they did go over. So that one we closed out, netted a unit, which is nice. And we got UAB, we got that under. Missed San Diego's under, but we did get the Stetson under. NBA wasn't great, not good actually. I got the Bulls leg 2 that we missed, but I do have a leg 3 ready for that, so that's okay. We did miss the Suns. Again, no excuses. While I'm not shocked. That one was so 50-50, I probably should have just stayed away, but I decided we should play every game, and that's on me, so I'm not going to make an excuse. I really thought they'd go with the home team narrative. But yeah, we missed that one. We got the Spurs over. I thought that was a good metric. And we got the Pistons cover, not the Celtics. So 5 and 6 was our day. And again, we closed 5 units. And again, I put in perspective in all my videos, we only need to close 7.5 because we're accounting for juice. So anyway, between 7 and 8 sequences. So 7 and 8 wins. To afford a 3-leg loss. And our last 3-leg loss, as you can see, it's been a little bit. So there's a reason I do the system the way I do. We only need, again, 8 to profit. And now let's get into the game. So the reason I like San Francisco is I've gone into it in my Super Bowl scripted saga series, which I think is there's 4 parts so far. That's probably all it's going to be. One part is symbolism, one part is the narrative, one part is literally wrestling, like how wrestling ties in with it. And one part is back in week 17, at the end of week 17, beginning of week 18, when I actually predicted the entire playoffs. And I can say outside of one team, we did a good job of predicting the exact who was going to play who and everything. This was before, I think it was before the Jags even beat the Titans. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was. So anyway, we've been over the target. We had the Jags beating the Chargers. We had a lot lining up, basically, outside of Buffalo being bumped by Cincy. Anyway, I do think that the Niners win, and I like the plus 122 odds. Not just because I'm getting 1 1/4, but I like it because of the significance. Again, this stuff I can't predict, okay? I just saw this when I scrolled into the ESPN to check the odds because they change sometimes. I noticed this one hasn't budged. I saw it was 2.5 because if you're at the top of the screen, it'll show you. But I never actually clicked on it and looked at it. I always wait until I'm doing my videos. And sure enough, we get 122. Why is that important? Well, when's the Super Bowl? It's on 2/12. I went into a video and half the people really liked it because they thought, wow, that's interesting. And then like the other half, not even half and half, probably like a good chunk of people thought it was interesting. And then a couple were like, okay, yeah, wrestling is tied in with football. All right. Well, here's why I think it is. What's very interesting is Undertaker's streak was 21-0, and then he lost to Brock, becoming 21-1. Then the next year, he became 22-1. So it's just, I find that funny. But what's more interesting, and I go into this in my symbolism series, is that match length. And there's another channel it's called 4VKM. I can't tell you the exact video or time, but on multiple occasions, he shows how the length of the matches ties in with real world events, ties in with other sports. So it's a deeper channel than mine for sure, as far as going, if you want to say going down the rabbit hole or, things of that nature. It's not just, he covers a lot of sectors. He's great. He really is. But my point is, he points out how there's too many wrestling match times and the names of finishers and things like that, and the people's names just happen to match up with real world events here. And I think the 25 minutes and 12-second match that they had, and they had it in Louisiana, by the way, where Chase and Joe are from. So a lot of it's very interesting. So, in my opinion, I do believe that it's going to be, again, a streak. That we have 2 streaks now. If the Bengals and Niners win, right, they're both going to have a ridiculous streak heading into, it's going to be 25 straight wins between the both of them, actually. 13-12, I believe. So, and let's look at, I just noticed this as well. I mean, this is ridiculous. Top left, 134, top right, 143. When I made my channel, my first ever video, the old channel got shut down, was why the Warriors won, and they just plastered 3-1-4 and 4-1-3 all over it before the match, before the finals, during the finals, afterwards. And I don't know why they're so fixated with that number. My theory is it's because it's the inverse of pi. You got 3-1-4. So they like to do 4-1-3 and 1-3-4 and just do it in different ways. It's the only thing I could think of. But it is interesting. I think it's not a coincidence in like baseball. That's the number for everything, for strikes, for balls, for bases. I think that's the reason they use it. But anyway, 1-3-4, 1-4-3, and they can both go to 1-4-4 here. And again, everyone knows the significance of 12x, 12 times 12. Lamar's talking about the 3x and all that stuff. So I genuinely believe Niners win, and I love them on the money line because plus 122 is very good. Again, they cover the spread but don't win. That doesn't fit any kind of narrative. We have them go into the Super Bowl, so there's no reason here not for us to take the money line. So for me, it is a leg 3, like I said. So for that Bulls loss, I'm plugging in the Niners to beat the Eagles and go to the Super Bowl, as I did with the Bengals. For a Middle Tennessee loss, they will beat. Now, this is for anybody who has not made this wager yet. I know some people can also cash out and get better odds. I don't know if you're able to. But I already locked it in even odds. Okay? So it's going to be a leg 3. I would suggest plugging it in here for Middle Tennessee to cover Florida Atlantic, only because I think it's the best odds. If you already locked it in like me, that's fine. You're getting even odds. I personally locked it in, it was quite a few games ago. I think I locked it in for I think it was a Louisville loss. I think it was right here, because it was after a 3-leg loss. I went back quite a while because we hadn't had a 2-leg loss, and I was looking for one. Where have I plugged it in? Just trying to make sure we have everything. I want to make sure that I actually have it on here. Here we go. It was Bulls cover Hornets. It was a couple days ago. I locked it in for that, and that's why I got thrown off. They played each other twice pretty recently here. So yeah, for me, it was back here, Bulls cover Hornets, and at that point, it was even. So I'm not going to get the same odds as someone that's picking it here now. You're going to get better odds than I did. So I would obviously, if it doesn't really matter which leg 2 you plug it in for, it's a leg 3 regardless. I was just showing you guys that there's going to be times that some of us get better odds than others. But the point of it, we want to close the sequence at a positive gain. So yeah, personally, I got it, back a while ago. I did think it was going to swing to Cincinnati as a favorite with the fake injury. Some people are trying to, rebut me on that and say, how's it a fake when his knee bucked or his ankle bucked? All I will say is I've watched Ronda Rousey snap arms in the wrestling ring. It's looked more realistic. I've watched wrestlers run and their ankle completely splits the other way. YouTube Alexa Bliss dislocates shoulder. Just YouTube that. And then tell me which one looks more devastating. Because to me, hers looks 50 times worse than Patrick Mahomes. So even if the guy did get kind of banged up, somebody pointed out a great point. He was diagnosed with a moderate ankle sprain. The football is fake. That's who it was. He pointed out that he was diagnosed with a mild to moderate ankle sprain, which is typically a 3 to 4 week recovery where you rehab and ice the ankle, and any excessive force on it, such as running or even some deep throws as he's dropping back, should be excruciating. So if he's not limping and if he's not really, really struggling the whole game, you'll know. Okay, if one play he's fine, that doesn't make sense. Okay, the body adrenaline doesn't kick in on 3rd down and 14 and say, now you don't have a sprained ankle. It's not how the body works. Yes, adrenaline does happen. We saw it with Cody Rhodes. But the difference was Cody still couldn't move his arm. So, it wasn't like the adrenaline made it where his pectoral was no longer torn. No, it was still torn. He just literally couldn't move his arm, and the adrenaline was what got him through the match. But in a real fight, he would have got the shit kicked out of him. So we're going to see, this is very similar. In a real match here, Mahomes has no chance if he truly has a sprained ankle. So this will be a great one. The breakdown guys are going to have a field day with this one, and that's good for them. I'm sure they'll be happy. But it really is. It's clear as day. He's just examine how he looks play to play, and then examine how he looks on camera, on the sidelines, and then how he looks when he's hurdling Eli Apple. I guess this week, Eli Apple. He'll hurdle Eli Apple to get retribution for his mean tweets. But yeah, I just think the whole thing is set up. But that's just my opinion on that. So yeah, Niners, money line, leg 3. And like I said, we had a good day. We closed out 5 units, and most importantly, the 3-legger. And I think we have 2 great ones in place in these 2 games for the 3rd leg of our Bulls loss tonight, as well as the other loss. And again, I have a 4-part series. If you're into numbers and symbolism, that is part 2 or 3 of the series. I think it's part 2. And now I literally go into the wrestling and how the Brock match was 25 minutes and 12 seconds, and how it was. I found it interesting that his streak was Undertaker 21-0, and then he went to 21-1. And then he went to 22-1, and then the next year he went against Joe. The whole thing's very, very interesting in my opinion, and I do think wrestling ties in. But we'll see how it goes. I think the 144, 144. I think these records aren't a coincidence. It just full circle how my first ever video was about the Warriors. 314 gets shut down, and here we are. By the way, on our 1 month anniversary. Congratulations to us for not being shut down in the 1 month we've been back up. And we got the 314s again. So we'll see what happens, but take care, everybody, and happy earnings.